Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need. MB Quart, premium performance audio. Warren Industries. When you go with Warren, you go prepared. Oil Undercoating, the official oil-based rust prevention system. And by BrothersTrucks.com, your #1 source for 1947 to 87 Chevy and GMC truck restoration.
Thanks for tuning in to Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. You know, a lot of cool products come from a gap in the market. Maybe there's a niche that needs to be filled, and this is a case here. Now, Pop and Lock, Jackie, filled a gap. What was it, and how did you do it?
Sure, yeah, that gap was a pretty big gap because way back in the day, truck tailgates did not have any lock on them, so people can easily get in and out. People were stealing things. People were taking the tailgates off the truck, stealing the actual tailgates. So Pop and Lock found that little market, that niche that was a need, and we filled it with something really simple at first, just a basic bracket that just kind of popped into the handle, locked that tailgate. And you know, when the tonneau cover boom happened, it was perfect married couple product line, because now you're having a complete covered storage area, but you can also secure it too, so nothing was being stolen.
I've experienced the stolen tailgate myself. It's no fun. So this is the original about 30 years ago?
Yep, correct.
And that evolved into this unit here. Tell me about that.
So what started as a bracket, just an easy little pop-in, morphed into more of that full handle replacement. The Tacoma was one of our main ones that we did that with. You actually have to pop out the old handle and you put our new one in, and it's got either a normal lock, or we also utilize the bolt coatable lock, which was an awesome feature because it codes to the actual ignition key.
Excellent. And I know this is high quality stuff. You're not just some fly-by-night aftermarket company bolting stuff on. What do the OEMs think of what you're doing here?
They were definitely impressed. Obviously, what does well in the aftermarket eventually makes its way to the OEM world. So they saw how well our locks were doing, and they realized the need. So then they started putting locks on at the factory level. You started seeing, you know, just the basic key lock. Again, we still had a leg up because ours utilized the ignition key. Theirs did not. It was still an extra key or something like that.
And that necessitated the need for you guys to evolve.
Yes, yeah.
At Pop and Lock. So moving up to some of the other items, you mentioned stolen tailgates.
Yep.
And this will remedy that.
Yeah, so this product is really kind of cool. We call it our $20 insurance policy. Just goes on that right-hand side to cover the hasp, so somebody can't physically remove the tailgate. When that tailgate is removed in 10 seconds, there goes between $3,000 and $8,000 worth of money, because that tailgate is not easy to replace, and they have to get it custom painted. And now with all the electronics in it, whether it be your sensors, your cameras, huge ticket price item that could have saved with 20 bucks right there.
Easy insurance. I love it. Now the fuel door here, tell me about that.
Fuel door was kind of recent. This came out a few years ago. It's for the JK. Again, we utilize that bolt coatable lock. Bolt is actually just down 2 hours south of us, so we try and partner with them whenever we can. So lots of fuel doors on the market, but ours stands alone because we use that bolt coatable, so you're using that ignition key, coding it to that, you're not having extra keys.
That's an established market, some of the newer markets, the UTVs and that sort of thing, and that would be this item.
That's this one right here. So that was a partnership a few years ago with a tonneau cover company that produced tonneau covers for the UTVs. Same concept, you've got a nice bed to store stuff, but they wanted to cover it, but cool, you can cover it, but it's not secure. So they came to us, and we developed a really easy hand lock that we could just bolt right into the handle. Same concept to secure that entire bed right there on the UTV.
Keeping it very simple. And you guys make this for a whole bunch of trucks.
Yes.
This is the power lock mechanism. For the rear tailgate, again, I get a little spooked when I have to do a lot of wiring. You've come up with a solution now for Toyotas, like the Tacoma we see behind us, so tell me about that.
Yeah, so before this, we had just normal power locks, so you're tapping into wires. Gets a little confusing with colors, it's intimidating for people. So some of the biggest feedback we always had was, how can we make the wire portion of the install easier? So just last year, we launched the new Toyota lock, which is the plug-and-play power lock, and it utilizes this plug-and-play T-harness, so there's no more splicing into any wires. You're simply plugging into the OEM ports and just plug it into our other wire harnesses, and you're done. So it's super easy, makes it much more manageable, and it takes this big, scary wire install down to this very manageable process for any skill level.
And you mentioned you guys are in Wisconsin.
Yes.
So it's an American company, been around for 30 years. How much do you do actually for the OEMs themselves?
Our OEM relationship is more on the heavy duty side, so we supply all the lock sets and keys for them. That's our bread and butter. What we do is lock sets and keys, and it's all high quality stuff because we have OEM standards that we have to follow, so we translated that into our aftermarket companies with Pop and Lock, and all the same quality standards hold true there.
Pop and Lock can make your life a whole lot easier. They can make your vehicle a whole lot more secure. You can check them out at popandlock.net. We'll return with more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings and more cool products like this when we come back.